All right, today we're going to dive into one of the biggest secrets of life itself. And don't worry, we're not getting bogged down in complicated chemistry. Instead, we're going to explore the incredible library that exists inside every single one of your cells.
So I want you to just picture this for a second. What if every single one of the trillions of cells that make up you isn't just, a microscopic blob, but a tiny, bustling city? And right at the heart of that city is the most amazing, most complete library you could ever imagine.
You see, that library holds your story. It's the master blueprint, and it's written in the unbelievable language of DNA. Let's explore how it all works.
Now, I know you might be having flashbacks to high school biology class, all those confusing diagrams of helices and base pairs. Let's just push all of that to the side. For our purposes, just think of DNA as the ultimate instruction manual. It is the one and only blueprint for building and running, well, you.
So, if DNA is this all-important instruction manual, where is it actually kept? Let's take a quick tour of this amazing cellular library.
First, you've got the cell itself. And this is not just some simple container. It is a full-blown, thriving metropolis. I'm talking power plants, transportation networks, factories, the whole shebang, all working together 24/7.
And sitting right there in the very center of this busy city is this super secure, heavily protected building. That's the nucleus. And that, my friends, is our library. It's the most critical building in the whole city because it holds the master plan for everything. And inside that library is the DNA. This is the master blueprint. Imagine one enormous, priceless, irreplaceable book. It has every single instruction for everything the cell could ever possibly need to do. And because it's so incredibly valuable, there is one simple, unbreakable rule. It can never, ever leave the library.
So this brings up our really interesting problem, doesn't it? If this master plan is locked away in the library for safekeeping, how does any of the actual work in the city get done?
I mean, think about it. If the blueprint is stuck in the library, how do the construction workers out in the factories on the other side of town know what they're supposed to be building? How do they get the instructions?
Well, this is where the librarian comes in, and it's an absolutely brilliant system. It all starts when a request comes in from a construction site, a ribosome, that needs a specific plan. So the librarian, which is our cell's machinery, goes into the master book and finds the exact right page. But here's the clever part. Instead of lending out the priceless original, it just makes a quick, temporary, disposable copy. That copy is called RNA, and it gets sent out of the library to the factory. The master plan stays safe and sound. It's just so elegant.
Okay, so that's a pretty cool way to think about how a cell works, right? But this is where the story takes a truly mind-bending turn. We're about to zoom out. I mean, way out, from the tiniest part of you to the very edge of the cosmos. Okay, look at this. It's an absolutely fascinating parallel. On one side, you have our biological blueprint. DNA is basically a one-dimensional string of code, right? A line of text, but it builds a ridiculously complex three-dimensional you. Now, look at the other side. A black hole. There's this wild idea in physics called the holographic principle that suggests all the information about the 3D space inside a black hole might actually be stored on its 2D surface area. Get it? A lower dimension storing the plans for a higher one.
And this really gets to the heart of what Einstein was saying here. It's this incredible idea that the universe, from the very, very small to the unimaginably large, might just be following the same set of rules. It's like nature has a favorite trick, and it uses it everywhere. So what does this connection really mean? Could it be that we're stumbling upon a sort of universal blueprint for how information itself is organized?
So let's just break it down. The shared secret here is all about hyper-efficient information storage. In both cases, you have a staggering amount of complex information about a higher dimensional thing, like a 3D person or a 3D chunk of space, and it's all encoded onto a lower dimensional surface. A one-dimensional string of DNA holds the code for a three-dimensional body, and a two-dimensional surface of a black hole might just hold the code for everything inside it. It's an unbelievably efficient way to pack a whole universe of data into a smaller space.
And honestly, that is the big, mind-blowing takeaway here. From the chemical code that writes the story of life inside of your cells, to the cutting-edge physics describing the very fabric of space-time, it looks like the universe might be using the exact same fundamental trick to write all of its stories. It's a pattern of information that echoes across all of reality.
And that leaves us with one last, really deep question to chew on. You know, we usually think of reality as being made of stuff, particles, energy, but what if that's not the whole picture? What if the true, most fundamental building block of absolutely everything is just information?